infrastructure on his farm? Why would he dig dams? Why would he build sheds? He won't. That bill, some are saying, is the beginning of the end of commercial agriculture in this country. Farmers will not invest. So, which party voted against it? Tiny little party. They got 146,700 and something votes in the last election. It's a tiny percentage, but they've got 4 seats. So they have a voice. And a deputy minister specifically tasked with agriculture, forestry, those things which take so long to establish and which are so vital. I saw a figure the other day. It was an American thing. They said one American farmer feeds 100 people. We're proud of that. I did some sums. One South African farmer feeds 1,000 people. We've never had more than about 45,000 farmers. But we've got 45 million official South Africans and probably 10 million unofficial South Africans. Do your sums. One farmer feeds 1,000. Someone else mentioned something, and I can encapsulate it. If you kill a farmer, you kill a farm. Nobody wants to farm that farm. If the farmer was brutally murdered, his family was brutalized. We have that voice, at least in Parliament. Small party, small voice, but they punch above their weight. So I am throwing my lot in with them. I have to do it. And I don't come from a completely ignorant political background. I was a ward councillor for the DA. Until I was put forward as a mayoral candidate, district candidate. And I went along to the interview, and there were 27 DA luminaries, the panel, to interview the mayoral candidates. I was the only white one. And as it so happened, the chairman of the panel was a friend of mine. He had no vote, but he monitored things. And one of the panel members was a lady called Lindiwe Mazibuko. You'll have heard of her. And she kind of was running the show. And the person who went before me was a very nice chap, Rainman, headmaster, educated guy, well dressed, well spoken, good chap. Then I was supposed to go next, and then after me was another coloured candidate, a lady, who really was not very suitable, I can tell you, just you could tell. Anyway, that was just my judgment. First candidate went, things went well, I went in, I was interviewed, it seemed to be going well. Had them laughing, made a few jokes, it was going well, I thought. Okay, then there was a break, because it was a long interview, it would be about an hour and a half. There was a break halfway through, 10-minute tea break. I went out, I was supposed to come back, and the chairman, who was a friend of mine, came to me and he said, I'm resigning from the DA. And he'd been a DA since they were the PFP, back for birth. He's still here, he's been right through all that. And I said, why? He said, because when you went out for tea, Lindiwe Mazibuko stood up and said, we are tired of being ruled by white men, vote for the next coloured candidate. That's what she told the panel, this so-called panel who had to decide themselves based on what they saw. They hadn't even interviewed the next candidate yet. And that candidate was put forward and got all of 8% of the vote in her own ward. Poor choice. So I'm listening to this, and then people say, we got to stop talking about race. They smoke in their socks. It's very much alive in this country. The ANC is reinforcing it. They're dividing us where it suits them, and they're lumping us together where it suits them. We are being played with like puppets. I'm almost done.
Please carry on.
If I could just read you a short passage from my book. And this is addressed to those who are hurting, to those who've lost people, who have suffered personal tragedies, who know the pain that goes along with being a South African. It's a short passage, and it's from over 100 years ago. It's during the Anglo-Boer War. And for me, that was the benchmark in our